Welcome back everyone, I'm Craven and this is Daybreak 2. We are in Langport and we are almost done with doing the rounds. We have one more 4 SPG to pick up and we got the port to still talk to everyone. But for now, let's pick up the 4 SPG and see what needs to be done. The missing dragon Chariot. Langport Lunar New Year Festival is right around the corner and the dragon Chariot Red Star signature vehicle has been stolen. However, considering Heiyue is likely busy with other matters at hand, we thought it would be best to ask for your help instead. I'll be waiting for your answer in front of the Eastern Theater. Chief Minho. Well, we can definitely help with that, I'm sure. Are you the Minho that sent the 4 SPG request? And looks like you got Hiren with you too. Ah yes, I am Minho with Red Star. Thank you for coming, Spriggan. I see you brought Erin along as well. That is very encouraging. Hell yeah, man. With me on board, it's always smooth sailing. Anyway, what's this I hear about the Dragon Chariot gone missing? It was over in the main plaza up until yesterday, wasn't it? I have a question actually. What exactly is a Dragon Chariot? Oh, right. I suppose you're not from Langport. You probably wouldn't be familiar with it. Well, it's a yearly tradition, kind of a symbolic thing. Every year, the most influential people in Heiyue invest large sums of mira into prepping a high-class luxury car to put on display. Then they show it off at the Lunar New Year Festival to impress anyone with eyes. It's to make sure everyone knows how rich and powerful Heiyue is. I hear in the old days they used to do it with boats and ox carts. Ever since the Red Star came around though, luxury orbital cars have been the staple. After the festival, it gets toured around every location you can think of before eventually being auctioned off. Auctioned off? Then I suppose the Eastern Theater serves as the auction house. That is correct. In fact, the Dragon Chariot was supposed to be brought into the theater today. We were actually just having a meeting about it. Unfortunately, just as we were getting ready to proceed, it disappeared. If we don't do something, our company will be out a huge investment, and that's not even to mention how much it will inconvenience our partners in Heiyue. Is there any way we could enlist your services to help retrieve the Dragon Chariot? Well, what do you say, old man? Let's see. Might as well, because we want the points. Alright, we'll take the case. Heiyue is not really in a place to deal with this right now, and I've had my fair share of experiences with stuff like this. Besides, as a casual fan of the orbital cars myself, I want to see whoever stole that beauty brought to justice. Casual fan, he says. Hey, but I'm with you, we can just let some 2-bit thieves get away with something like this. I appreciate you doing this kindness. To be honest, I was a bit worried you might not take the job. It's an incredible expensive vehicle after all. If you don't manage to get it back, Red Star would be at a huge financial loss. This might not be relevant to the investigation, but exactly how much is the Dragon Chariot worth? Let's see. The chassis base is one of Red Star's more pricey models, the Nexus 3. And then you've got the embossing work from a first-class professional. The pure gold ornamental pieces, the gold outer coating. The manufacturing cost alone would put it at approximately 30 million mira. Well. 30 million mira. I can't believe someone would pay so much for a single car. Hey, and when it comes to the auction, the highest bidding price usually goes well beyond the original value. There's no doubt the thieves will be able to make a rather significant profit from it. I imagine they mean to use the money to fund their criminal activities. From a risk management perspective, this case seemed absolutely critical. Alright, first things first, I need you two to tell me all the details about how the car is being transported to the theater. Any moment you can think of where the car could have been stolen? Yes, you see, the Red Star crew started moving into the theater about 5 hours ago. They finished about 4 hours ago, after which everyone decided to leave. Unfortunately, right around that time, there was one issue that propped up. It prevented us from being able to keep proper eye on the chariot. Oh? What happened? Well, as soon as they started bringing the car in, the revenue services decided to show up for an audit. We were so busy dealing with them that there was no time for anything else. It seemed like it took forever too. The auditors only left a few minutes ago. Ah, all this from a revenue service, huh? So that's how it all ties together. And right after Van Loo just got arrested on false charges of tax evasion. It makes sense that the other businessmen would start being suspected of fraud too. But you gotta admit, the timing is pretty suspicious. Yes, it is hard to believe it's a coincidence. Either the criminal knew the revenue service exact schedule, or perhaps... I am ashamed at the lack of vigilance, but because there were so many crew members on hand, we assumed everything would be fine. Perhaps some of them noticed something we didn't. Hey, don't you think you should give them more clear instructions? You guys were the ones in charge after all. Well, either way, it wouldn't be a bad idea to ask around inside the theater. We just need to take it slow and trace their path step by step, so let's get to it.
You have my support, Mr. Arkride.
We prepare the Dragon Chariots every Lunar New Year festival. It acts as a symbol of Red Star prestige. I really hope you're able to bring it back in one piece.
Very well.
I do hope you'll be able to bring the Dragon Chariot back safely. As manager of the theater, I can't help but feel responsible for all of this. Well, you're somewhat responsible, that's for sure. Sup, Fuka? Sorry to bug you. Aaron? What can I do for you? Actually, those people with you, aren't they? Yeah, we just have a few questions we'd like to ask you. You heard about the Dragon Chariot being stolen, right? Yes. In fact, I gave them a bit of a hand when they were bringing it in. But I'm sorry, I really don't have any idea when it was taken. Even the smallest detail you can remember might help us. Did you notice if anything felt off at the time? Well, I guess there was one thing, although I might just be overthinking it. About 3 hours ago, someone from Red Star came back to the theater with a big truck. I assumed he just came to do some additional servicing, but I was so busy at the time I wasn't able to pay him much attention. That certainly does sound strange. After all, according to Mr. Minhao, the crew left the theater about 4 hours ago. Even if they had forgotten to take care of something, it would be unusual to send a single person without informing anyone beforehand. And Minhao had his hands full with the revenue service right after the actual Red Star crew left. That would have been the best time to get the car out without anyone noticing. Yeah, my bet is on this Red Star guy, since being a fake. If he played the part well enough, nobody would even blink an eye if he stole the car. I'm so sorry. If I had paid more attention, this wouldn't have happened. Nah, it's not your fault, Fuka. Still, don't you think a truck big enough to haul a Dragon Chariot would stand out in a place like Langport? Got a feeling they hid it somewhere. Must have been a pain in the ass finding a place that could fit it all. Maybe someone involved in transporting goods might know something. Now that I think about it, that delivery guy Anthony runs mail over in Newtown. He's probably got a few contacts in the shipping industry. Wouldn't be surprised if he knows something. Let's get going then. Well, Aaron does come up with some really good ideas, so he's really getting into this whole, let's just say, spriggan thing.
Heading to the objective.
Let's see if we can unravel this case. Oh, my delivery route takes me through the harbor district, but I've been noticing a lot of unfamiliar faces and boats around there lately. I worry about getting in their way, so I usually try to pass by as quickly as possible, but one of them actually apologized for getting in my way. He was this tall Central Eastern guy, seemed really nice actually.
Let me ask you something.
A truck carrying heavy cargo, huh? Well, I mean, Langport is a harbor city. It's not really unusual to see trucks that big every now and then. But actually, now that I think about it, I do remember seeing a large Red Star truck headed for the harbor district around the time you mentioned. And you haven't noticed any change in the area lately, have you? Any workers you haven't seen before renting out storage space or boats? Nah, I can't say that I have. Oh, but maybe. Something jog your memory? Well, you remember that warehouse where there was a murder about half a year ago? After that happened, most people around here didn't want a thing to do with it. But just recently, one of my clients, a guy named Lai Hong, said his company decided to start renting it. Heard they stopped using it though. I was wondering if maybe something had happened. Oh, the warehouse. Guess it makes sense people would be avoiding the place. Well, the fact that somebody wanted to rent it at all smells pretty fishy to me. It is also more than big enough to hide not just the car, but the truck carrying it too. Looks like the harbor's our only lead right now. Let's see what we can find. Man, of all places, why did it have to be there? Well, right under the nose. Of some really big people. Yeah, there's not a lot to talk to here. We do want to avoid the main quest progression. Well, we got some ships in the harbor that are pretty different from our usual cargo vessels. They're a little too hoity-toity for me though. Well, at least they pass freight inspection. Now I won't have to deal with them anymore. Good.
Could go for some fishing.
Don't worry, the top brass haven't noticed a thing yet. The more you freak out about it, the likelier you are to be a suspect. Still, I've been seeing an awful lot of new faces around here lately. We need to be more careful going forward. I don't want to fumble things, you know?
Right.
So somebody from Hayway got arrested? That's gotta be a first. If the police start taking on the syndicate, how long before they start cracking down on us? Just mind your own business, and before you know it, things will just simply go away.
Why don't we see?
I wonder what happened. Are you Lai Hong? We heard you're the guy that rented this place out. Ah, yes, that's me. Is there something I can help you with? We're in the middle of an investigation, and this warehouse came up as a spot of interest. We were told that you had to stop using this one in particular. Is that correct? Yes, that's right. My understanding is that they found some kind of issue related to last year's incident. Yesterday, someone from the security company that oversees the harbor showed up and said they'd be taking it over temporarily. And yet, did something else happen? Well, I came by here to see just a minute ago to take a look, and it seemed like somebody else has been making use of it. That shouldn't happen if the security company is keeping it under lock and key though. That's pretty suspicious. I hate to ask, but would you mind letting us take a peek? That's fine. To be honest, I was just sitting here wondering whether I should take a look myself. If we could learn something from it, I don't see the harm. Yeah, and normally you would never say yes, but seeing as we are spriggans, might have helped it a little bit. Ha! I knew it. Hey, I'm guessing that's not your company truck, right? Definitely not. Who in the world brought this thing in here? What's that security company up to? Let's hope the Dragon Chariot is still in there. Having found the suspicious truck inside the warehouse, Van's group quickly proceeded to check its cargo. Unfortunately, the delivery bed was completely empty. Well, that's about what I expected. Hey, this must have been a temporary storage location for them along the way. They probably realized how likely it was for the police to check the warehouse. They picked this location as a decoy. I just attempted to exit the server of the security firm that controls the area. However, there's no record of any new issues being found with this particular warehouse, nor is there a record of them taking temporary custody of it. It seems likely that security personnel that informed you of the supposed issue was an imposter. I can't believe they managed to pull one over on me. What a simple disguise. I feel so foolish. Oh? Kinda sound like something about him stood out to you. Well, you see, I couldn't help but notice his hair was a rather striking shade of green. Gave me a bit of a startle, honestly. Green hair, huh? That means he'll stand out in a crowd. At any rate, it looks like the thief brought the chariot to the harbor in this truck and then transferred it to some other vehicle. Whether it was another truck or a boat remains to be seen though, so let's ask around to see if we can pick up their trail. So far so
Treasure
good.
located.
Oui.
Leave it to me. That's a good lock. Now do me a solid and open up. No sweat.
That was the worst one so far.
This is kid stuff. No sweat.
There has to be something trying to prevent.
Now I've done it. I'll be more careful.
Yeah. Don't think we're gonna make this one. Oh, I haven't been hit by that thing often enough.
Time's almost up.
I know, we gotta be careful. Come on. No. Getting caught didn't help the situation. Alright. Faulty inputs. Getting caught. That's not gonna happen again.
This is kid stuff. No sweat. That's a good lock. Now no sweat.
Let's make this now the fastest run we've ever done. So fast that we could prevent getting caught by that one.
This is kid stuff. No sweat. I've got control of the system.
Hacking complete. Quintet. Always a good brand, especially the older games they made. I can believe my wares are being used by criminals. I hope this doesn't lead me to being dragged into anything else. Oh, and if you want to see a great old Quintet game, I think I have Terra Enigma on the channel, so have a look at that. That would be perfect. Be careful if you can talk to some other people as well.
That's one of the Marduk Company's high-speed airships.
Looks like Costume's in the middle of something.
Huh?
I can't go into the details in public, but we had to cancel some important drills today. It would have been the perfect chance to assert the Republican Navy authority. Even thinking about it gets me all fired up. Anything here? Ooh, a basketball tryout in here? Sheesh, this place is nowhere near as quiet as it used to be. I never had problems doing business here before. I mean, with Hayuway around, the guild and the cops made sure to keep a wide berth, if you catch my meaning. Oh well, as long as nobody gives me any lip, things will be just fine. They only set that basketball court up next to me recently. Youngsters are always coming around to play a game or two. But that also means I spend a lot of my days worrying about the ball breaking my expensive stuff.
Take a look if you want.
Ah, cloth of the four beasts.
Thanks.
Hey, man, if you got time to kill, what do you say to shoot some hoops with me? Basketball, huh? Don't think this hoop was up here last time we were here. Yeah, basketball's got pretty popular in Langport recently. And these guys like to challenge people to games every often. Anyway, why not give it a go? Yeah, I want to try it too. Sounds pretty confident around there. Not that I mind, of course. Alright, then let's join him for a match. Awesome, that's what I'm talking about. Nope. It's a bit too harsh. A bit too low.
In it goes. Whoop. That went well.
Nice move!
No, I think not. In it goes. Whoop. That went well.
Good enough.
In it goes. Whoop. That went well. I think not.
Alright, easy peasy.
I believe that's game, set, and match.
Damn, you got skills. I thought I had that one in the bag too. Well, a loss is a loss. Here's a little something for your trouble. You're sure we can have this? Yeah, think of it as my way of saying thanks for the fun game. Hit me up for another round anytime, just don't plan on clinching another win. Alright. I'm happy with that. Alright, let's get out of here. Although I am a trader from Elsheim, I conduct business in Langford on a fairly regular basis. By the way, I couldn't help noticing the name imprinted on that vessel over there. It seems to be the Velas-funded private military company. I may not have any direct working connection with them, but it's hard to keep on when the name Velas shows up. True. I reckon it's going to be a very big name if you're from Elsheim. I wonder what all that hubbub this morning was about. And what did they want to use my boat for anyway? Seemed like this guy works for boat chartering services. If the culprit tried to transport a dragon chariot by sea, then maybe.
Got a question for you.
Suspicious heavy cargo, huh? No, I haven't taken on anything like that myself. Well, actually, it might not be related, but this morning someone I've never seen before came in and chartered a boat. Oh yeah? Mind telling us what they look like? What type of boat did they rent? Well, they were a man, a middle-aged navy type, with a little bit of a beard. I think he said he was an officer. No, a lieutenant colonel. I thought it was a bit of odd for someone from the navy to be renting a civilian boat, but I didn't really think much of it. I mean, you get all kinds. Still, it's not every day you see people renting an orbital sail with a small barge attached. An orbital sail? Those are vessels with orbital engines that propel them more easily than regular sailboats. Those engines are only auxiliary, however, as they don't provide much in the way of horsepower. That being said, if the barge is small enough to carry a single vehicle, the engine may just be sufficient enough to tow it. Oh, this navy guy sounds like our target. Did the boat already leave? Yes, I barely taken my eyes off them for a second before they were gone. It sounds like they were more going on here than I thought. Should I not have rented out the equipment? Nah, you got nothing to worry about. Anyway, I think we got a pretty good idea of the scale of the scheme now. Let's find a place where we can sort through everything we've learned so far. At least we know the entire sequence of events. So, to sum it up, we have people believed to be the culprits bringing a truck to the theater, moving it to the warehouse and then renting a boat with a barge. At every location, they were disguised to look like someone who could feasibly have business there. But we were given two distinct descriptions. A young guy with green hair, dressed like a security guard, and a middle-aged Navy officer. We don't know what the guy pretending to be a Red Star employee looked like, but do you think they were all different people in disguise? I have heard there's a phantom thief capable of mimicking the likeness of various people, and by himself no less. Although he seems to be an isolated case, we should be careful not to discount the possibility that this is the work of a single individual. That's true. There's no way to tell right now, because if it was done by a single culprit, which can disguise himself, if it was the person we know that can do that, he would have left a calling card, something to put us on the trail of the investigation. The fact that it was a middle-aged man and a young man with green hair means it has to be done by multiple culprits, right? Even though at every location there's only one person that did a request. I think if they didn't mention at all the potential of a phantom thief that steals expensive stuff, I would have gone for multiple culprits straight away. You know what? Let's just go for it, why not? I've got a feeling we're dealing with multiple culprits here. I mean, if it really was just one guy, there wouldn't be any point in making it all so complicated, right? They were probably only handing off the car to one another in disguise, so they would be hard to track down. Makes sense to me. So, who's behind this? You figured everything out already, haven't you? Well, the first people who came to mind are the Mafia looking to get a hit on Heiyuhei, one of Red Star rivals, or a small group of amateur thieves. Again, this is very hard to say, isn't it? It won't make sense. Could it be one of Red Star rivals? Of course. It's something to be said that it's the Mafia to go get a hit on Heiyuhei, because since they are in this kind of predicament right now, they could take advantage of the situation in order to get it, or a small group of amateur thieves. Because you could say a small group of amateur thieves because of all the problems with the families here. They finally find a chance to make their own move, to strike while the iron hot with all the trouble going on. I can make a case for every single one of them. But if I have to say, it would either be a small group of amateur thieves or the Mafia looking to get a hit on Heiyuhei. But if it is the mobsters, then I wouldn't expect them to take it out of town by a boat. I think I'm gonna just... It's guesswork for me, I have to be honest. I'm sure there's a hint or two there that explicitly tells you why it's one or the other. Yeah. And if it was the mobsters, they would have had their own resources. They didn't need to rent a place trying to deceive everyone. They want to know people that another group is in town doing that. I'm gonna go with this. The more I think about it, the more I'm leaning toward the amateurs. I'm thinking it might just be a small group of amateur thieves. If a big organization was involved, they would have put together a plan with a higher chance of success. These guys prepped the warehouse and the boat right before committing the crime, which makes me think there wasn't a whole lot of brainpower involved. I mean, regardless of speculation though, they did still manage to get away with it. I agree. Looking at their plan, it seems a bit rushed and simplistic. It was put together very haphazardly. They seem to have only succeeded by being well coordinated in light of their feat. I must say, it also seems unlikely that the visit from the revenue service had anything to do with them. Yeah, that was a little bit too convenient for my liking, but it's probably not as relevant as we thought. Let's go back over what we know about these guys again. They're capable of rudimentary disguise, trust each other, operate a small unit, and work fast. You guys also remember a certain threesome that fit that bill? Oh, you mean those guys we dealt with in Tharbad last year? Oh, the Davanci brothers. This incident certainly does seem to fit their MO. And according to a recent search, it seems they managed to break out of jail just a few weeks ago. It's still unclear how they escaped, but it's likely they had outside assistance. Well, that settles it all. All we gotta do now is hunt them down. You know where they went, don't you? Yeah, they must have taken the dragon chariot to... if I had to guess... Again, all three is reason, because Heilong Shengzai, I think that is where we... It's like the big old building where we went through in the previous one. The Eroded Cave is the tourist spot that people aren't allowed to go to at the moment. An offshore smuggling vessel, they can take that and go up. But again, if it was a small crew, I think once they are on the boat, they think they would be clear. This is gonna be a guess. I would say the Eroded Cave, because it's a location for tourists, which is a lot of room, but we know it's not available right now for whatever reason. And Heilong Shengzai seems a bit too overly complicated. Again, all three can be it, but for some reason my mind's going to the Eroded Cave. If that's not it, I would probably say offshore smuggle vessel. If they rented an orbital sail and a barge, the destination cannot be too far from the harbor. But the water levels around the Eroded Cave change pretty frequently, and the topography around there ain't exactly conducive to driving. Heilong Shengzai. Most people tend to keep their distance from the place, but they're just close enough to get with an orbital sail. Shit, that's the last place I wanted to go. Makes sense though. There's a reason Almata used it for their hideout. It practically screams, hey, hide your stone and shit here, dude. But what about, do you think they're doing it with all the way over there? If they wanted to sell it off, they'd have to load it up again and take it somewhere else, wouldn't they? That's why I thought Heilong Shengzai gave a more of a stench than the Eroded Cave. It's not easy to tell just by looking at the map, but on the east side of the Heilong Shengzai, there's a small path that links back up to the main highway. There it is? I mean, the place was used for mining after all. It makes sense that they have a few roads for transportation. It gotta be long abandoned by now though. Yeah, and as soon as he said it's for a location nearby, I was thinking more about Shengzai. If they disguise the Dragon Chariot somehow while they have it on the Heilong Shengzai, they would have no issue taking it to land from there. That's pretty much the long and short of it, yeah. Damn, they sure picked a hell of a target right after getting out of the slammer. Well, what are we waiting for? Let's get our asses over to Heilong Shengzai. Shao over the eastern corridor wharf should be able to hook us up with a boat. Missed one SP, I'm sure of it, but like I said, I still think the Eroded Cave was not a bad location for them to be hiding stuff. But he is right, the whole ebb and tide of the place would have definitely worked against them. So yeah, who am I?
Off we go.
Guess I could stop by for a drink.
It's all thanks to Aaron.
Just a little run. Van's group, in an effort to track down the Dragon Chariot, decided to once again travel to Heilong Shengzai, soon thereafter. Whoa, look at that, guys! An orbital sail and a barge, I knew it. It would seem to be just as you surmised, Mr. Arkride. They probably haven't taken the Chariot too far. I bet we'll find them pretty close by. Let's be careful going forward. Tamam, you got it, understood. Alright, let's have a look around. There it is. I see it. Nice work out there, brothers. If we manage to get this thing bits and bobs on the black market, our Mira woes will be ancient history. Before you know it, we'll be out of Calvard and making a name for ourselves in a whole new part of the world. Hey, we could never have done it without your foolproof plan, big bro. Who else would have thought to get somebody to meddle with the revenue service? Nobody, that's who. Alright. That's enough praise for me. Besides, you guys played your part to a T as well. I must say, your disguises have gotten pretty convincing lately. Still, I think one of us really ought to consider changing his hair color next time. Hey, the hair is what makes me me. No way I'm getting rid of it anytime soon. Well, whatever. We should be proud of this one, boys. The bonds of brotherhood have secured us yet another victory. Whatever I say, we crack open the bottle, have a toast. We deserve a little reward, don't you think? We can always just slip out of the abandoned pathway tomorrow. Well, ain't that sweet? Brotherly love sure is a beautiful thing, right, Van? Hey, no doubt about that. And they even let us listen in on their little plan. Nice group of guys, I gotta say. Too bad that's about all the time you're gonna get to celebrate, though. Hope you losers are ready to be back behind bars. If your bonds run so deep, then why not pull all that energy into something that actually helps others for once? I'm afraid we have you cornered, the Vanchi brothers. Turn yourself in and we promise to you no harm. What are you doing here? Actually, haven't I seen you somewhere before? They're the guys that fooled our plans back in Tharbad. The spriggan. Will you have to be you again? Hey, we're not all that thrilled to run into you crooks either. You both are at the end of your rope, and speaking of rope, how about you stand still so we can tie you three up? What, you think we're just gonna back down now? You got meddling in our plans for the last time, spriggan, you're toast. Don't be getting all too cocky, just because you took us down once before. We'll give you a real run for your money this time. With me, brothers. You got it.
Initiating shot.
Destroy them! You're freaking dead!
Fine, let's play.
Here's my chance.
Let's
Now
play.
That's the thing. Initialize.
Shield up.
It's go time!
Now's a good time to boost.
Yeah, this is more about take them off the board than anything else.
Time's over!
Activating skill.
Now.
Here goes!
Activating skill.
Blink and you'll miss it.
And having Aaron take most of them down, that's just how it's supposed to be here in Langford.
Boost gauge limit crush.
Seriously?
I can't believe we lost to these bastards again. I swear on my soul, this won't be the last you hear of the Davanzi brothers. Yeah, we always bounce back. Just wait until we get out of prison. Your cab is coming to you eventually. You're gonna live to regret messing with us again, spriggan. Or maybe you guys could learn your lesson and stop thieving already. Hey, you can act tough all you like, but that's about the least scary thing I've heard all week. Well, that takes care of these idiots. Now I'm just worried about the car. Is it okay? It would seem so. Nothing more than a few minor abrasions. I think we can return it to our client as is. At least the barge will be getting it back to Lamport a little easier. Right, let's bring it back to the theater. Huh? What's wrong, Van? I'm just remembering something they mentioned earlier. Like hell you're gonna get us more out of me. You guys said something about getting somebody to meddle with the revenue service, didn't you? So the auditing was part of your little heist after all. Oh yeah. The timing was certainly suspect. Oh, is that all? Fine. If you want to know who our partner in crime is, I'll tell you. The truth is, I don't actually know their name. What? I thought you guys were all buddy-buddy. Hey, and here I was thinking you had connections to some big hotshot. Well, I guess I don't mind spitting a few secrets. See, we got word from someone using a pseudonym that they wanted to help us out. Their only condition was that we had to cause some kind of uproar in Langport, and it had to be today. Said they even lay the groundwork. Wow, you sure know how to pick 'em. Look at you, using strangers to your advantage. Nice going, bro. What's with these guys? For real, you think they'd be more angry about the whole being used as pawns thing? Ah, so someone's been trying to stir things up in Langport. Bet it's whoever betrayed the Lu family. It'll make sense if they were the ones pulling the strings here too. Anyway, before we return to the Dragon Chariot, we'd better decide what we're going to do with these guys. It would probably just put even more stress on Heyu if we push them off on them, so let's try and come up with something else. Let's see. What should we turn them over to? The guild, the police, or the Marduk company? That's an interesting question, because the guild and the police, would that be the same thing? Because if we bring them to the guild, they will hand them over to the police, right? They even might launch an investigation to figure out who it is that's actually behind them. The Marduk company? They could possibly make them disappear. So I'm intrigued with that choice, in all honesty. But I think it would be best to get them to the police or the guild. Because the guild can make sure they don't escape while they're getting transport to the police, and knowing they already escaped before, they can provide with an extra security detail on it. I am tempted though, to see what the Marduk company is gonna do to them. Because I'm pretty sure that's not good. I really do think they might disappear in the end. That makes it intriguing though. So I'm guessing the police is law, the guild is grey, and Marduk is gonna be chaos. Tempted. Alright. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with the Marduk company, because I'm very curious where that will lead. They're definitely not gonna let them go. They're not gonna let them free, right? I mean, they did break out of prison after all, so this problem is the police need to fix, not the guild. But considering it's the same force that arrested Fan Lu, it is possible they were have been pulling a string inside Heyu lately, had their hands in all of this. Maybe the better option is to turn them over to Marduk. Eh? Why Marduk? I see. Marduk engages in various risk management research opportunities that pertain to maintaining public safety. It will require a great deal of paperwork, but it should be possible for the company to take temporary custody of the Devansi borders. Fortunately, Mirabelle and the security chief are currently in Langport, so they'll be able to assist in making the handover as smooth as possible. Sheesh, can't say I'm a huge fan of letting a PMC have so much authority. But I guess you guys dudes can't have a neck for stuff like this. Fine, I'll let it slide. Hey, it's definitely more on the grey side, legally speaking, but hey, that's where we operate best, right? Anyway, I'd appreciate if you could take care of all the formalities for us, Rosette. Of course, it shouldn't take too long after all. And so, thanks to Van and crew, the Devanshi brothers were captured once again. With the case now closed, the Dragon Chariot was soon returned to the theater, where it awaits its new owners. Thank you so much for all you've done. I'm so glad we're able to get the Chariot back in one piece. We don't need to worry about Restar reputation taking a plummet either. Yes, now that we have the car back, tonight's auction should be able to proceed as planned. Thank you all. I hope you know how truly grateful we are. Hey, it was no biggie. I just did what any fellow car lover would do. Hey, don't you think it's time you get a new hobby, old man? I'm really glad it all worked out. I'm sure this car means a lot to the people of Langport. Well, it does indeed. In times like these, that's all the more reason for us to upkeep the tradition. Hopefully it'll help to bring back a sense of normalcy. Well, we'll make sure the reward is posted to your account right away. Thanks again for all you've done. Sure thing, it was no sweat. Just remember to keep your eyes peeled in the future, yeah? Don't want anyone getting the drop on you again.
Well done, everyone.
Missing Dragon Chariot completed.
Mirror deposit confirmed.
Chaos, I knew it. And there it is, finally, Chaos up to snuff.
I can barely contain myself.
I am so glad you were able to get the Dragon Chariot back to us. We'll have to make sure this never happens again. Thank you again for everything you've done for us. Oh, thank goodness, I'm just relieved to have the Dragon Chariot back. It seems as though the auction will be able to proceed on schedule after all. We better get the final preparation taken care of immediately.
Oh, wow! It's back!
Well, I was already feeling like I couldn't stack up to Aaron, but even little girls upstaging me? How can I possibly compete with those dance moves? Nope. If I start doubting myself, that means I've already lost. That's the Dragon Chariot! It's amazing! I can't believe we got to see him haul him in too! Look at how high it is! Look at the sheen! I'd kill to put that car through its paces, even just once! I'm glad the car's back. Did you guys help them find it or something? I can't even tell you how much this means to us. Just thinking about a beauty like that getting stripped for parts is enough to break our hearts. Can we smash it? No, we're not gonna do that with the car. Everyone would be so disappointed. But that does mean that we've handled everything we can. The only thing left for us to do is to head over to the harbor and talk to Kazim there for information purposes. And who knows, maybe we'll take a bath too to, well, re-establish the CP with Aaron, cause... Nope, it's not too bad actually, but we might take a shower anyway. Good, but for now, I wish you all a great night, morning, day, wherever you are, and if you're still here, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and be back next time.
Very well.
So for now, bye bye.